Trenton High School has instituted a new tardy policy. Welcome to Tiger Topics. The first thing, let's go around and let everybody know who we are. I'm, of course, Mr. Blackby, teaching the class, and I'm the facilitator of the podcast today.
I'm Aiden Kirby.
I'm Tristan Williams.
Jayla Slater.
Kelly Goes.
Okay, we have a diverse crew here today. We've got 2 guys, 2 girls. We've got some athletes. We've got some academics. We've got some longtime Trentoners. We've got some mood again. We should have opinions all over the board. First topic that we're going to start off with, the controversial one. It's fresh on our minds. Tardies. So, Trenton High School has instituted a new tardy policy. 4 classes, 2 school. A little more strict. It's a little more clear cut, though, too. Right? What do you think?
I don't like it.
Okay. How come?
Because I feel like, first of all, if you miss or late to first period and you can't have a pass for the rest of the day for Minga, I don't think that's fair at all.
Okay.
Depending girl or guy, you have like an emergency or anything, and you can't, like, if someone like more stricter, they don't care, a teacher, what do you do? Like,
You have to hold it. Okay, I'll give you an alternate question then. Do you agree that to be tardy to first period is wrong? Just quintessentially, fundamentally wrong.
yeah,
I don't see how he could be tardy the first period.
depending on the situation, yeah.
Now, there are excuse tardies. If your car breaks down or, there are reasons that you will still have your passes throughout the day. But you were just neglectful. You didn't pay attention to time. You come in later, and that's wrong. You agree with that, right?
Yeah.
So what's the alternative? Like, what is another thing that's punitive? Because that will send the message that it's not okay to be late to things.
I think instead of not having a pass for the whole day, it just should be that class period. Yeah.
Okay. Now, the good news is, student voices matter. And so sending a copy of this podcast to our administration to look over and the school improvement team, it's good feedback. So you think not for the rest of the day, that's a little strong.
Yeah.
Especially on a first tardy.
Yeah.
You think it ought to build? Like, let's say you come in the next day and you're late again for the same class.
Then it could start building up.
How quick?
Over three or four times.
Now you get 3 tardies. Now you're going into the big punishment.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So if you come in the second day, so first day, it's just that period.
Yep. And the second day it should be
Whole day.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. What about the rest of it? So right now, we're working on the rest of the quarter. What's little left in this quarter as the next quarter. If you get 3 tardies for one class, you have
I feel like the 9-week period, it should be a little bit shorter. 3 tardies, like a little bit shorter maybe, because I don't know, but a little more strict.
Did you say 3 tardies on class or 3 tardies
in class.
Mm. Oh, I thought it was every class.
Me yelled up his ring.
3 tardies. No, it's for the class.
Oh, I didn't know that.
That's pretty lenient, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get, and I could double check on that, but I believe if you have 3 tardies for the same class, that's what happens.
Okay, I think it was 3 tardies.
Is it all day?
I think so.
I'll clarify that. But yeah, well, I mean, are you guys thinking this because you're so used to being tardy and it's okay?
So you
and you clock in late 3 times, is nothing going to happen?
They're definitely get fired.
And this is the training ground, correct? And so we're trying to teach that to you, but it's not a big consequence like getting fired. This really is Friday school and crazy big consequence. It's a little bit of an inconvenience, probably a little bit good for you too. I mean, you can get some work done. It's not that bad. That's what we're the training ground for real life. So with that in mind, still too much. Even if it's the whole day, even if it's 3 tardies, you know what I'm saying? In 9 weeks.
3 tardies in general in 9 weeks is.
What do you mean weird?
I'm still like.
If it's 3 tardies per class, that's different. But if you got like you got 3 charges in a day and then you just have to go to parties.
Yes, so the only one that is excusable is first period, that part. And that one is because you have 5 minutes to get in between class.
Okay, so Grady's weighing in from the background, and I don't know if we're picking up this with sound. He's not Mike. But what he's saying is, you got 5 minutes between classes.
Yeah, you have 5 minutes between classes.
And you're saying that's plenty enough.
That's plenty enough. Because you get 5 minutes to go to the bathroom. Most people can manage that out. You could go to the bathroom in that time. It's not a large school either.
It's 2 hallways.
So even if you go across,
And remember, the 5 minutes is a gift this year. You know what I'm saying? We had 3 before. Mr. Morbin, well, like us teachers told him, like, and we think they need more. Because if you do need to go to the restroom and stop by your locker and go to class, 3 wasn't enough. And he granted that and gave 2 more minutes. And so now we have 5 minutes between every class to be able to go. And what Grady is saying in our production crew in the background is that's plenty enough time and there's no excuse. Like if you're tardy, especially if it's multiple times,
it's the one that is really, except because you're coming from outside. Yeah. But you're already here for the rest of the day. For most people. Like some people come close, and that one's a little bit more understandable sometimes. Something could happen. But also that falls under the excuse because you're coming from outside and they give us usually. But between the time our class ends and the time we actually need to be here, it's like 30 minutes. It's a lot of time.
now you guys know there are 2 points during the day where we actually have 2 bells. So you have a warning bell, and then you have a bell that makes you late.
Yep.
And both of those times you have an extended, so that's first thing in the morning, and after lunch. And I'm a real big advocate, especially those 2. Like, there really is no reason to be late. If you're in the building and you hear the warning bell, you don't need 5 minutes then because you've been here for how long? You know what I'm saying? Probably been here since 7:35. You've had 25 minutes. And then again, at lunch, you have 35 minutes. No one takes 35 minutes to eat. Everyone's out of that cafeteria wandering around the hallway, and that's your time to do your thing. It just seems tough, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like 9 weeks, and you're only late 3 times. But I think the reason why it feels that way is because you guys are so used to being late so much. It's like become a way of life in the school, and that's why the policy got made. Just because it's become such a way of life to be like, oh, I'm going to make it. And you can't accept that. You can't be okay with that. You know, imagine if a teacher came in late every day. At any time. You know what I'm saying? Like 9 weeks. You could even do the 9-week thing. Can you imagine a teacher coming in late to their classroom 3 times in 9 weeks? That'd be wrong. Or 5.
But I think it is so.
But he's in the building working.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. We're not talking about,
Not being in the classroom.
yeah, like we're not talking about neglect.
I already had a tardy policy though.
Which it's vague. In the handbook, we had one, and it's very, very vague. It's kind of one of those that's worded like administrative
I thought it was
discretion.
I think that's the word. Mobility.
Yeah, it's
Not enforceable. I thought it was like 8 tardies a semester.
no, that's absences. Unexcused absences is 10.
I thought it was like if you show up late early in the morning, you have to sit in the cafeteria for that whole lunch period.
Okay, now that is a new thing that we were trying this year, but let me get your opinion on that. Like, one, was that working? So the policy was this. This is a new thing they were trying this year. We were trying different things to discourage the tardiness. So the school is trying to do different things to remedy a tardy problem. You know what I'm saying? So for a long time, where teachers are putting in the T in when you're tardy, but then what happens? And if nothing ever happens, unfortunately, with human nature, people don't really adjust their behavior. So if it's just T, throughout the year, student realizes somewhere, even subconsciously, that I come in, I get a T, and nothing ever happened because of it. Then we were trying different things, and especially the get to school in the morning thing. So that's why they started the policy of if you come in late, past a certain minutes to the building late, first period, that you will have to spend the rest of that period in the multipurpose with Ms. Mondell or whoever's monitoring it, and you miss, you're absent. I don't like that. As a teacher, I don't like that because if they get here 5 minutes late, write them a note, send them to class, give them a target. You know what I'm saying? Because then I have them for 40 or 50 minutes of class, and they still get 50 minutes of learning instead of 50 minutes of sitting in another space, missing the whole class. This learning's got to be top priority. But something also needs to happen that's punitive when you don't get here on time. And so that one I don't think was a try from us. I don't think it's working, and I think we just need to throw it aside. Like, there's no reason for you to be sitting in the multipurpose. You're better served in the classroom. What do you think? Or do you think does that bothersome? Like, does that hurt you guys if you have to sit in the multipurpose?
Not me. I'm usually the first person in class sometimes.
What if you were late though,
If I were late, yes.
and you have to sit in the multipurpose for the rest of the class? That wouldn't feel like a punishment?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
If I was like 5 minutes, 10 minutes late, then like I would want to go to class because I'm not that like late.
But yeah, I think official policy is beyond 15 minutes you're considered absent for the class. I think it's while we're doing this, Coach, will you bring up the handbook on the training website? Bring up the handbook and let's see what it says about tardies officially. And then look at the absences as well. Yeah. Okay, so I got a question for you. Does anybody realize what the problem was with Friday school? So you get 3 tardies, you mess up, you own that. You're like, man, I was late 3 times. It is what it is. I got Friday school. If you're a teacher, be us for a second. What would be the problem with assigning Friday school? You 4 are like really good kids, and so it's a bad question for you. You all, did you guys would be like, oh no, I'd be right there. I'd feel really good. Kayla, are you coming to Friday school? You get Friday school assigned. Are you coming?
Maybe. You have to. Now we're getting into just go it. So you get 2 Fridays. You miss 3 times. You get. Well, it depends on what I'm doing.
Yeah.
See, that wasn't like that before. We had not established what happens where if you don't. So you got 3 tardies, you get a Friday school. Mm-hmm. People have been assigned Friday school for different reasons before, right? What happens when they don't come? You get another one, right? What happens if you don't come to that one?
You get 2.
You get another one, right? What happens if you don't come to that one?
Yeah, I would.
It just keeps happening up.
Yeah. If you don't come to any of them for the rest of the school year, what happens? You lose credit for class? You get ISS? Does anything happen? Oh, we didn't have anything in place. And so if you're going to make Friday school the punishment for tardies, what happens if you don't come to Friday school? And then I need something punitive to deal with that. And so now that it helped because it helped us adjust that part. So now do you know You don't come to Friday school, what's it like? What do you get? Do I know?
I think you get one more, and that's 6 minutes.
Mm.
Or is it just
In school suspension.
Okay. So if you missed the one Friday school, that Friday that you're assigned, that Monday you have
In school suspension.
ISS, in school suspension, and you still got to do the next Friday. Let's say you missed that one. Now you're like, nope. You come in, we make you do ISS, and then you get to that Friday, and you're like, nope, I ain't doing it.
Isn't it like out of school suspension?
Then you get out of school suspension. Like that following Monday. And then if you're really bold, you miss, you're out of school suspension on Monday, you come in Tuesday, you still got to do your Friday. That Friday. On that third one you miss again, this is where the administration has discretion, but they are going to talk to you and your parents a little more and, like a lot more serious. So you might get one more OSS, but maybe not, depending on what your track record is. This is one of those where it varies. You have a student that's normally not a problem, and now they're doing this, they might give another chance to figure it out. Or if you have a student that's regularly in the office, they might just go straight to, it's crazy, that you'll officially be expelled, and you'll have to go up in front of the board to request permission to stay in the school. And they can tell you no. Would that be crazy to end up getting expelled
Overtime.
for essentially 3 charges?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Friday school only goes to isn't it 2:45 or something like that?
It's not even, I think it's one.
Yeah, I think
It's
it's
not even a full day. It's
Yeah.
more of a half a day.
I guess I never actually had a tardy this year.
Like I said, I picked the wrong group. So, but I mean, student opinion is student opinion. You're not usually late, but you've also been down the buck system a little bit. Out. All right, you want to do that? So, you will torment teachers. Okay. If you and your friends find out that there's something that gets under a teacher's skin, you will do it on purpose 367 times in a row so that you can see if they pop.
this white? We've done it.
Did you do it today?
I could name a couple. Now, I will admit, you are a lot less of you. I'm going big picture in the high school too. Oh. You actively participated in poetry, Miss Beers.
Kevin had last year.
Okay.
I saw it highlighted. And that's the
Oh, here we go. Students who are demonstrating a pattern of arriving to school late or arriving to classes tardy will be monitored by the principal and may be required to attend Friday school if the situation warrants. So that was the previous policy.
Yeah.
No, that's kind of loosey-goosey. It basically says it's up to Mr. Morbid.
Yeah.
And then we requested that it become, let's quantify and qualify. What is tardy? How many tardies equal this? And so it's more cut and dry. We wanted cut and dry. And the administration were nice enough to help us with it. Mandatory attendance on Fridays. Do we have the tardies or the absences on here as well? Did you find what it said about if you have too many unexcused absences? Will you help me out? Sure, that's great. Our behind the scenes guys are really excellent, by the way. They set up all the equipment. They make sure the sound is good. They add the special effects later. They cut everything. They edit, and they get our information. And then they also have edit. And they also have good opinions. Most of the editing is all Cullen. Grea's an information guy, a music guy. They each have their talent pool that we depend on them a lot. Okay, so let me ask you this. Let's get philosophical. While he's looking that up, let's get really philosophical. In general. Because I hear students, as a 20-year teacher, I've heard students say this a lot. This is where Kale's mind is immediately going. I know it. And I even flirted towards it a little bit, where you were like, It's just Tardy's.
She's Tardy.
Is there a more wrong or a less wrong, or is there just wrong? And I'm sincerely asking.
And what your norm was. Like, if you forget something in your locker and you're like maybe 10 seconds late to class, like, and they still count it as a tardy, like, that's way less. But like, if you're being stupid and always and just messing around, that's like more like punishable.
Okay. Now, I agree with your philosophy at its root. I have a question that's going to mess you up. Where's the line? You said 10 seconds late.
Think
Is that okay? 30 seconds. 40.
I think up to a minute.
Yeah.
Up to a minute?
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, it depends on how far away you're locked.
Okay. Cullen comes in a minute late every day, 3 days a week, 3 of the 4 days a week, but he is under a minute.
I asked them first. And if you're forgetting stuff, then remember it. Like, if you have pens, put them in your notebook before so you don't have to.
I asked him why. He told me his locker's way far away in one of the 2 hallways.
That's excusable.
And he can't. It is?
Yeah.
That's excusable?
Yeah. I think it is.
Should, at some point, I think we need to make a video and we'll patch it in right here where we go to the farthest locker in the building. And then we have that person walk to the farthest classroom and we time it.
You go from the feeder cots, cross them all, or cots down here. Yeah, it would be like what is.
So we'll say Turcotte's class, the far senior lockers to Gonzaga's. Yep, I think that's a good setup. And we'll see what that actually takes at a normal pace. Like, no, we'll do brisk because you should be moving with a purpose, right? But not a run, not a slow walk, but a brisk pace. And so if you think of it's a circumstance, it's what if they are, this is where I'm getting into if you go. So what if they're in solicitor's shop with the same route? What if their locker is 10 lockers closer from the end door? See, the problem about the way you're doing it that I'm getting you cornered into is where is the line? Do you want me to take the time to get to know every single one of my students' previous class locker location and then to my room, all 97 students in a day so that I can know who to individualize this for? You see the problem with that? Like, I get your philosophy. I agree. Like, let's be nice and let's help them learn and help them achieve. And you know what I'm saying? But at some point we have to draw like a line. Would you agree with that?
Yeah.
Makes it tough, doesn't it? You just don't think 3 tardies is the right line? Okay, here we go. Forgiven absences will not be counted as part of the 10-day semester grant. So you have a 10 days. Let's start up here. Students shall not be absent from a class more than 8 times in a semester class for reasons that are not forgiven. Loss of a credit may result when a student exceeds these limits. If a student exceeds the absences for a semester, so half a year, and school administration determines that loss of credit is warranted, the parents, guardians of the student will be allowed to come before the school board to appeal the loss of credit. Forgiven absences will not be counted as part of the 10-day semester limit. An excuse from a doctor is required for an extenuating absence of 3 consecutive days or longer upon return to the school. It is the student's responsibility to provide the written excuse. Extenuating circumstances must be determined at the time of the absence, not a later date. And then there's a whole bunch of stuff about, of course, we know excused absences automatic are doctor's note. You bring in a doctor's note, you're excused. A note from a judge, or if you had to attend court for any reason pertaining to you, then you are excused. And then a college visit. And then some, well, You're not even counted absent for a sport.
No, that's just school related.
Yeah, that's a school related,
No, that's just school related.
yeah, that's a school related, not in the building. And then one other that I know where the school absolutely will not penalize you for is when you have a death in the family, when you're attending a funeral. Like that's one where they're like, we're not good. Especially in Trenton, well, everybody's related, so we deal with that a lot. And so when someone, they either have a family friend for a lifetime, and so they don't usually, they don't hand out absences or stuff like that when you're actually attending. So the good reasons. But if you just stay home because you overslept or I'm trying to avoid the tardy, which some people do, that's an unexcused absence. And you get 8 for free. But it's on your 9th one that they're going to, now we have a problem. On your 10th one, you could lose credit for the class. That's a lot per semester. That's a lot. Yeah. That one's pretty lenient. I think that's pretty lenient. But I don't think it's bad either. I think it's fair. Especially when we have a 4-day school week and take that into account too. You already have Fridays off. I feel like if we get to the point where they're on number 11, number 12, I think that's clear cut. You missed that class 11 times in one semester. I feel like they should. We are still, administration has discretion, and so they talk to them, and that's the philosophy of a builder. But I feel like if they do make the decision, you don't get credit for that class in the end. Your parents got to go in front of the board. What do you think about that? You think that's too harsh?
No, I think that's fair.
Okay, so remember the Tardy policy isn't locked in stone. It's a trial run, and we're trying to make adjustments for all the students so we get the best results, right? So your feedback will be listened to, and it may change. Like this, the rest of this year, but going into next year, we may have to tweak this a little bit to make the numbers a little more manageable. Let me ask you this. We're going to end on this, okay? So, this is a big question, and we can continue it into next week if we really want. But I'd like to hear what you have to say now. Are there any policies in the building that you wish the administration was more strict on? Take a second to think about it. Oh, are you laughing because you had one in your head?
Well,
Let it fly.
I think because you know how the girls' dress code is. I think the boys should also be following that too.
Okay.
Where to be more strict.
Example.
Like, say if a boy wears a tank top, it's not a problem, but if a girl wears one, it's a problem. And also, I feel like depending on a girl's body type, them wearing the same clothes as the same girl, same clothes, but one with a different body type gets dress coded, but the other one doesn't. There are certain factors, and I feel like that shouldn't be allowed.
So you have the same clothing item, but one is more noticeable because she has a particular body type.
Yep.
And then the other girl is a little more less conspicuous because of her body type.
Yeah.
And she walks around all day at the cup server. I think I think we can understand what it is you're trying to say. What do you think we ought to do?
I don't know.
I know. I caught you. I know this. How about this? Let's end on that today. And I want guys and girls, we'll do the same crew next week, to come in prepared and having thought about it. You have a week's time. Think about, well, what's a remedy for this? What would a better situation, and remember, it makes it hard, if you do individual basis, that makes it hard for teachers to uphold standards and administration of old standards. So we need to qualify. We need clear-cut lines. What should those lines be from a student's perspective, from guys and girls? And you guys come up with that, write them down, and then we're going to talk with full confidence next week. Does that sound good?
Yep.
All right. Excellent job. Appreciate it. Thanks everybody for joining us. Hope you learned as much as we did, and we'll see you next week. Everybody.